I got involved in this profession over 20 years ago, and I was stuck in life. I had no background in business, no business being in business, but they said you could be from Yale or you could be from jail, and you could be successful. And you know what? I guess I was just dumb enough to believe them. I was dumb enough to say yes. You know, it's funny because back in the day, I kind of felt dumb. Why? Because I went home and told my friends and family I was getting rich. I found this incredible opportunity. I thought everybody would want to get involved. I thought everybody would want to get rich. And I found out very quickly people were very closed-minded, very skeptical, very set in their ways. But luckily, I persevered. Luckily, I had enough conversations with enough humans that eventually I found people like me that wanted more out of life, that wanted to go from average to savage. You know, they wanted to create abundance in their life. They didn't want to live a life of mediocrity. I want to help you get unstuck, but it really does start with you. It starts with you making some distinct decisions that you're going to start working on you, because you can't grow your bank account, you can't grow your business if you don't grow yourself first. That's numero uno. So if someone says I'm stuck, I'm like, what are you listening to? How are you growing you? What are you doing to work on your mindset? Mindset is everything. Your attitude, we've all heard the cliche, right? Your attitude in life determines your altitude in life, right? The more you show up with positivity, with enthusiasm, with passion. Remember this, write this down. People follow strength, not weakness. So if you're showing up with posture, with belief, like you are going to attract amazing people into your life. How do you build up the posture, the confidence, the belief? Through courageous action. It takes courage to reach out to your chicken list. How many of you are terrified to do live videos? Guess what? I used to have a deep fear of public speaking. Nobody ever believes me, but I did. And by the way, I still get nervous. I still get cotton mouth. I still like handshake when I have to talk in front of a lot of people. Why? I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a thing, right? A lot of people would rather, this is true. It's sad, but it's true. They'd rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy. Video's the same thing. So it took me a while to overcome my fear of public speaking. You have to start showing up. You have to show up consistently, and you have to consistently improve. Some people say, John, I am consistent. Yeah, you're consistently sucking. It sounds so terrible. It's okay to suck. That's how it goes. If you got big dreams, big goals, big aspirations, you have to be okay with the struggle. You have to be okay with not being so awesome at videos, at follow-up, at prospecting, at marketing, right? Like, listen, I didn't have a background in psychology. I had no idea how to talk to people. I didn't have a background in sales. The only way I got good at it is by doing the things that I knew would grow my business. Even though I was nervous and I had doubts, I had to faith it till I made it. I had to kind of like, force myself to act as if I was confident, even when I really wasn't. And by me doing so, I became confident. By me taking action, putting myself out there. And then years later, when we started using social media, we started doing videos and putting out content and posting. And again, I was posting with nervous energy, with like, how many of you are like your own worst critic? Like you hear your own voice for the first time. You're like, oh, that's how I sound. Right? You see yourself on video, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I look like when I'm talking. It's so weird, right? Or you take a group photo and if you don't look good, you ain't accepting that tag. You ain't sharing that video, even if everybody else looks good. In fact, Nadya, I always like using her as an example. If Nadya likes the picture and she looks good, she'll post it even if I'm like mid-sentence, eyes half open, you know what I'm saying? Like she don't care. She's posting that picture. The point is, you got to always be ready. You always got to have your game face on. You got to be prepared to go into battle. But I think one of the reasons I've done so well, and you can probably tell, I got some passion. I have some belief. I have some posture. Like I got the cookie. So you want to get unstuck. You got to remember what you have your hands on. Like you got to remember you have a miracle in your mouth. You have an opportunity that could change someone's life, but you're too caught up on the opinions of others, the negative opinions of others. You're too caught up. How many of us are guilty of this? You post something on social media, you get 15 positive comments and you get one negative comment. And the negative comment is the one you respond to. You're worried about what a small percentage of people are going to think about you. And by the way, whatever they think about you, they already think about you. their opinion ain't changing. It's just enhancing. You're just enhancing the opinion they already had. So if they love you, they're going to be okay with you starting a new business, even if they don't agree with it. Even if they don't agree with it, and they'll still support you and encourage you because they love you. And if someone doesn't respect you when you post about your new business, they will be disrespectful. And you can say, listen, I don't need your support. I don't need you to buy any products. I don't need you to get involved. But I expect you to be a positive friend, a positive family member. I expect you to encourage me and support me in that way. And if you can't be encouraging, if you can't support me, because I would support you if you started something new. If you started something you were excited about, even if I didn't like it, I would still support you because you're my friend, you're my family member, I love you, I care about you. If you can't be that way, if you can't implement the golden rule, do unto others as you would do unto yourself, right? Then I don't need your friendship. We don't need to be Facebook friends. We can actually still remain real friends in real life. But if you're going to drop negativity on my posts, if you're going to try to discourage me, I'm going to have to invite you to my VIP block party or at least unfriend you. And quite honestly, some of you need to unfriend people in real life as well, because you do have those. Think about it. How many of us have like 2 or 3 people, maybe 5 or 6 that we're worried about? Those are the people we're thinking about. When we're doing a post, we're doing a video, we're like, you swipe up and you see that they're watching your stories and you're worried that they're making fun of you or they're judging you. Tell them to go fly a kite. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 years from now, let's be honest. 100 years from now, none of us are going to be alive anyway. Although with stem cells, baby, that's right. Maybe we will be. 100 years from now, it's not going to matter if someone made fun of your Facebook video. 100 years from now, it's not going to matter if you had some haters on TikTok. It's not going to matter if you had some people quit your team or return the products or people told you you're in a pyramid scam. At the end of the day, everybody's in a pyramid, by the way. You're at the top of the bottom. Like, look at any corporate structure in the world. You got the CEOs, the upper management, middle management, lower management, and everybody else. Where's the most people? On the bottom. Who's making the most money? The people at the top. Here, I'm the CEO of my team. I'm the CEO of my business. I signed up 6.5 years ago and I started enrolling my VPs and my generals and my best people. And then they started enrolling their best people. And we built this massive empire, this dynasty, this freaking massive business all over the world. But it started with me, just like it started with you. We all start somewhere. So if you're saying, well, John, I'm stuck. First of all, don't talk about the struggle. Don't get so sucked into like where you're at currently, your current circumstances. Don't focus on that. Focus on where you're going. Focus on 10xing your results, 10xing your business. Like if you're stuck, let me ask you this. What kind of personal development are you doing every day? If you're stuck, let me ask you this. How many conversations are you starting every day? Because you can't sit back twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the leads. Waiting for the people to ask you what you do. You might say, John, I'm posting every day. What are you posting? Is it valuable? Is it entertaining? Is it educational? Are you creating some curiosity in your stories? Write this down. Follow the 80-20 rule. What do I mean? If you notice, most of my content and most of Nadya's content is valuable in nature. It's maybe funny. We like to do entertainment, right? We like to teach, but we also like to have fun. We like to entertain and train simultaneously. We put valuable content out there to inspire, to motivate, to educate, to help people. We're relatable. We provide content that people share. So you got to think like, am I creating shareable content? Am I creating relatable content? Am I showing up with value? Or am I just selling, which is why I suck at selling. And then on the flip side, some of you are so nervous about what other people think about you. You're so worried about people judging you, that you're not posting about your products, company, or your business at all. You're not posting anything because you're so worried about getting rejected or people making fun of you. So do you see? It's like you get both types of people. So for me, as you notice, if you follow me, but you think about the people you follow the most, the people you listen to the most. How often are they selling you their books, their courses, their products, trying to recruit you or enroll you into their business? How often? And I'm just going to answer the question because I already know, not that often. So again, we're putting out positivity, content, value, tips, ideas. We're sharing our story, our personality. It's shareable, it's relatable. And then sometimes I promote my business and how I get paid twice a day daily. Ask me how. Are you seeing what I'm doing? This is what you should be doing. It's not rocket science. This is how you build a following. This is how you show up consistently. And if you're stuck, you just need to get back to doing what you were doing in the beginning when you were ignorance on fire. You need to get back to that raw enthusiasm. And look, unfortunately for some of you, you're going to have to force it in the beginning because I know you lost the enthusiasm. You got cold. You got away from the fire. And this is why it's so important to plug into like weekly training calls. Like our team, we do a training call every single Saturday. Why? Because we want that to be the weekly battery charger for people. There's pop-up trainings. I do trainings like this. You know, we got our team chats, but we have this one call where we encourage people to be on every single week because I know that will fuel their fire. The people that typically tell me they're stuck, I'm like, are you on the Saturday calls? They're like, no. I work on Saturday. I'm like, well, that's why we record it. That's why we record every single Saturday call. Do you listen to the replays? No. Right? It's like so like cut and dry. It's like you're not plugged in. You're not having conversations. You're not reaching out to people. Let me ask you this question for those of you that are stuck, right? And listen, don't take offense to this. Hopefully this is helping you. And I don't care which network marketing company you're in. This conversation is relevant for everybody. Let me ask you this question. How many Facebook friends do you have? How many of those people have you talked to about your products or your opportunity in the last 6 months? And I say the last 6 months, really could be the last month, 3 months, whatever, but really 6 months. Why? Because if you're reaching out to the same people over and over again, you're beating a dead horse. Take it away from them. Tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to cross you off my list. I know you got a lot going on. So do I. I don't want to keep like bothering you because it doesn't seem like you're ready. The takeaway works like a charm. And sometimes you took it away and they say, okay, and you can move on because you want to constantly fill your funnel with new people, new humans. You should be having business conversations at least 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. If you're really serious, 10 times a day. You can't tell me you can't find 10 humans amongst your Facebook following, your Facebook friends, your Instagram following, your LinkedIn connections, Facebook groups that you're a part of. You can't find 10 humans that you can talk to about your products or business. You're not really trying. Let's be honest. It's not that difficult to find people that you can talk to that you haven't talked to ever, or at least in the last 6 months. Like, listen, I love attraction marketing. I love curiosity marketing. Most of the people that I enroll come to me. And eventually you'll get to that point if you do the things I'm telling you to do, where you're showing up TikToks, Reels. Like I got a reel going viral right now. Eventually you get to the point where you don't have to reach out to people because you got people reaching out to you. But you have to keep in mind, I've been with the same company for 6 years, in the profession for 20. So don't compare your chapter 6 to my chapter 20. I am way ahead of you, but I'm your future. How many of you would be okay with one day having my bank account? Not literally mine, but you get my point. Let me ask you this. How much more confidently would you show up if one day you had a business as big as I do today? If one day someone like me was on your team? Like I'm on people's teams just like you are on people's teams, right? So at some point you could have someone like me on your team. How much more excited would you be about your opportunity? If I said, listen, in order for you to build a business as big as the one I've built, you'd have to go out there and have 10,000 conversations about your products and business. 10,000 conversations. Would you want to drag that out over 50 years? Or would you try to squeeze that into the next 3 to 5 years? Does that make sense? I know 10,000 sounds like a big number, but you should see my paycheck. Like, you should see my bank account. Like, that's a big freaking number. And I couldn't even imagine, even 5 years ago, I could not have imagined making this kind of money. And I've been doing this 20, just 5 years ago. So you have to understand, you have to comprehend what you're a part of, what you have your hands on, what you're involved in. I don't care which company you're in. Like, are there people making 7 figures in your company? If the answer is yes, then why can't you? If there's people that have the results that you desire, then why can't you have those results? They started just like you. They signed on the dotted line just like you. You might say, well, they had a bigger network. They had more influence. Sure, but those were all, at some point, they didn't even live. Like, they weren't even alive. Like, 1979, I wasn't alive. I did not exist. It sounds funny, but we all start somewhere. You just have to get back to the basics. Back to the basics. Talking to 5 to 10 people a day about your products or business. Posting curiosity in your stories. Right? Doing videos, doing TikToks, like all the things, working on you, working on yourself. You want to grow your business, you got to grow yourself. That's just the way it goes. And here's another thing you could do. You may say, well, who do I talk to? Just go to your friends. All right? Go to your friends and just start like reaching out to 5 to 10 people a day. I can see I have 220 active friends right now. So I can message Tasha. What's up, Tasha? It's been a hot minute. How are things going? What's up, Heidi? I saw you're online right now, and I just wanted to say, hola. That's 2 messages right there. Now, you might be like, John, really? What do you expect me to say? Hey, Heidi, I see you're on Facebook right now. I was just wondering, would you be open to a business opportunity that could possibly change your life? I mean, like, what do you expect me to say? I haven't talked to her in 2 years. Hey, Heidi, how's it going? What are you up to these days? This is how simple it is. And then you might say, well, how do I get into a prospecting conversation? It's as simple as this. Listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you, write this down. Listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because I found something that can help me pay off my student loans, fire my boss, spend more time at home, spend more time with the kids. I'm overworked, underpaid, and I just wanted to find something that could supplement and eventually replace my income, and I found it. Or you could, talk about the product, or you could talk about, you partnered up with some amazing people. The point is, you have to figure out the script, the language, the conversation for you, because the reason you're doing your company is different than the reason I'm doing my company. Your personal reason for being involved in network marketing is different than my personal reason. Do you get that? So you want to have your personal reason why and your personal reason why this company, why this product. Those two things are important. You want to have two whys, if you will. So when you're reaching out to people, you tell them, listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because. But that's after they respond. That's after they get my initial message. Take a breath. Give them a second to respond. If they don't respond, this is what people ask. What if they don't respond? You move on. I don't keep track of people that don't respond to me. In fact, if they don't respond to me enough times, I delete them. You got to fill the funnel. How do you fill the funnel? Creating more conversations about the business and products. How do you create more conversations? You either market yourself, market your products. You do videos, TikToks, Reels, Insta stories, Facebook posts, before and afters. You do something to market your products or opportunity and or yourself. I'm not saying every post has to be relatable, shareable. I'm just saying, think through that when you're posting, when you're showing up on social. The second thing is prospecting. You can't sit back, like I said, twiddling your thumbs. So if you say, John, I have 1,000 friends. I've talked to 10% of them. What are you waiting on the other 90% for? Christmas? Why aren't you reaching out to those 90%? I don't know what to say. You don't know what to say, really. If you did know what to say, what would you say? If you did know what to say, what would you say? And if anybody on my team says they don't know what to say, that's just, did you print the scripts in Guide 1? Did you even go through the training in Guide 1? Isn't it amazing? Like, we have this 24-hour game plan. It's like beautiful. It's a checklist. It's like everything. And people still go, what Facebook groups do I add people to? What do I do first? How do I launch my business? What's my website? They still ask these questions, even though it's all right there. But guess what? That's why they enroll with us. That's why they have us, their sponsor, their mentor, the person that's giving them the guidance, answering the questions. So don't get upset if you enroll someone and they ask these questions, because here's the truth. When people are brand new, they get easily overwhelmed. It's a lot of information. I don't care how simple your system is, how simple you make it, because I know some leaders are always trying to fix their system and make it easier and easier and easier. And it's never going to be perfect, number one. Number two, it's never going to be as easy as you think it is, because people only retain 7 to 10% what they hear the first time. 90% of what they're hearing the first time, they're not retaining. What's that mean? That means you have to ask them, are you ready to do your first post? Are you willing to do a live launch video? Did you download the Boards app with all the scripts? Did you print off the 24-hour game plan? Do you have questions? Do you have some key people we can talk to? Do you understand the ATM system and who to add to the groups and what to tag them in? Right? Like, you have to, the system is for you. Now you might say, John, what do you mean by you? The system is for those of you that are watching this. Why? Because I know you're a leader. This is for those of you that are serious, that are hungry, that are motivated to go out there and make a difference. Like, you're sick and tired of being freaking stuck. How much longer do you want to live paycheck to paycheck? Have more month than money, struggle, sit at the same freaking rank? How much longer? It is your choice. It is your decision. It's just your choice to move forward and grow your business. Remember, it's your business. Your upline is not responsible for your success. They're not responsible for your happiness, your fulfillment, your purpose. They're not responsible for your ranks, your team growth, your business growth. That is your freaking responsibility. And by the way, I don't put that responsibility on my downline. Like, my team is not responsible for my growth. All I can do is lead by example and then identify and encourage potential. Lock arms with the runners, walk with the walkers, crawl with the crawlers, meaning I don't spend a lot of time with them, run with the runners. The people that are ATMing their face off, they're putting themselves out there, they're asking great questions, they're putting me in chats. That's who I work with. It ain't rocket science. That's who you spend time with. And if you go, I don't have people like that, guess what? Whose fault is that? Whose problem is that? That's your problem. You have to go find the people. You have to go find the people. Where do you find the people? You just told me you only talk to 10% of your warm market. Now you might say, well, John, this isn't like my warm market. These are my Facebook friends. If they accepted your friend request or you accepted theirs, that's war market. They know you're a real person. It's not a cold message. If you're reaching out to people you're Facebook friends with. Here's when it's a cold message. When I reach out to someone that didn't know I existed until right this second when I sent them a message. I am never going to prospect someone that quickly. It's too fast. This is why I encourage 5-5-3. What does that mean? You should have 5 conversations about your products or business every single day. Whether they come to you or you come to them. 5 every day to me is a minimum. Especially if your business is stuck or stagnant. Number 2, friend up 5 new people every day. Friend up 5 new people every day or reconnect with 5 existing friends. That's not the same 5. So I'm not going to prospect someone I just friended up today. Not going to do it. That's 2 different people. Does that make sense? I'm going to prospect people I'm already friends with, I've already connected with, I already have some type of rapport relationship with, but I'm also adding new friends and followers every single day. The 3 people you ATM. 3 people you add to a group, you tag in a video. You know what ATM is? You need to learn today because it's the greatest, most simple system on the planet. All I do is add people to a group, tag them in a video, then I follow up with them and I say, hey, what'd you like best? I'm gonna introduce you to some other partners so you can get your questions answered and you can see how simple our system is. And I do it all on Facebook and Facebook Messenger. It couldn't be easier, but people overcomplicate everything because that's human nature. And by the way, when you get rich, whose fault is that?